Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Wang. I'm from Peking University. I work in the Office of International Relations. This presentation is prepared by me and my another researcher in Chinese University of Hong Kong. I will mention her in my presentation. I'm very honored to share with you some current initiative in Peking University, which focus on Taiping students' overseas exchange experience for further internationalization. Higher education internationalization has been surviving as an hot topic, like outlined in New Bottle. With swift change in the field of higher education, higher education, especially in China, spurred up by the world-class university project, the skill and the depth of internationalization have been raised to a new level. The data and the indicator tell us this exciting story of higher education internationalization. However, it's time for us to think what's the real impact and how it has worked. Here I would like to share in the following parts our recent observations and thoughts on domestic students' exchange experience in the case of Peking University. First, I will introduce the current status of students' overseas exchange in Peking University. From the following figures, the overall number of students who have overseas exchange experience has increased in past 5 years. The ratio of exchanged students against the total number of undergraduate students in Peking University has been around 4.5% to 4.9% from year 2005 to year 2009. There is a visible increase last year, 6.7% of students in Peking University have had overseas exchange experience. In recent university planning to expand students' exchange experience is one of the priority. It's expected to have more PKU students to visit or live for some time in an overseas university. My president said that he had a dream that every undergraduate students who study at Peking University can have an opportunity during their college time. We are trying to make this dream come true. On the institutional level, Peking University has established efficient and effective administrative support system to facilitate students' overseas exchange. We have regular projects and funding to send out students to the university under international exchange agreements. Students can also apply for governmental exchange projects and attend summer or winter school in other institutions. The overseas exchange for students can be short or long. I think this is widely shared in every institution. Some of the students just pay a short visit, for example, a week or 10 days, to have a brief expose. Some stay in other universities for a term and transfer credit back. Some are more academic oriented. Whatever purpose they hold, students do have some unusual or new experience other than their regular life bonded on one campus. Are their experience valuable only to themselves? Is there any possible connection between their individual experience and the general institutional internationalization? So our past practice visited just just to collect personal stories as a written summary and edit them into a book. Each routinized practice but generate few impact. The value of collection has not surpassed the existence of the books themselves. Recently, we are collaborating with some researchers in the field of higher education. For example, in last year, young researchers approached us for access to our students' data on their overseas exchange experience. We worked well with each other. She collected data and used for her scholarly research, but in return, she gave feedback and suggested us to engage and disseminate students' exchange experience in a more intentional way. The second topic, students' initiative. At the same time, with expansion of students' overseas exchange, some active students suggest to establish their clubs or society to attract students with similar experience and disseminate theirs to newcomers. This is the bottom-up effort to integrate the piece-by-piece individual exchange experience into a whole. Third part. In whatever ways, it's noted that the institutional internationalization is meaningless without students engaged. It would remain a play of words, or radical, empty, and lifeless. Students experience their learning either on campus or out of campus. It's easy to increase the number of students to have overseas exchange. I mean, in our university, but as the case is in Japan University, I think it's a different story. You just told me. But it should not stay there as an indicator for the degree of internationalization. The beneficiary should be students and go beyond individual tacit and fragmented exotic experience. The experience educational for learning and personal change when they are articulated, communicated, and discussed. This should be for turn of wealth intentionally accumulated. Only in this way, higher education internationalization is not a bunch of code indicators, not a superficial theme for the university. Individual students and the whole campus could benefit from it in educational way. Second, therefore, we suggest university administrators, colleagues, and university faculty members to identify the underestimated value of student overseas exchange experience, strategic discussion, and utilization through bottom-up student networking and top-down administrative support can be considered. Last but not least, in our research, we have been confirmed that on the current stage, limited by resources, most students who have the opportunity to go overseas for exchange, both academically and financially capable. It's undeniable that social and economic background matters a lot in the program, especially in our university. As you know, that about 10% our domestic students are from poor family that we call it low-income family. What will the gap result between students with or without overseas exchange experience? We do not know yet, but we would like to bring your attention to this issue of equity and inclusion in tapping their experience. In fact, we have promote some ideas such like study abroad on campus. We emphasize the students to have more communication with our international students, just like a story in Kyoto and Chumawa University. Finally, about sharing of our observation and analysis of Peking University cases, we just want to reiterate the following points for meaningful internationalization for our students. First, revisit the value of ignore students' exchange experience. The second, meaningful internationalization with students' engagement. And the last, ultimate post-peer education internationalization. Thank you.